a kingdom where gold meant everything, where power was counted not in hearts, but in heavy vaults, there was one boy, the minister's son, who kept choosing silver. They whispered when he passed in the palace square. "Fool, simpleton," the king's daily joke. But the boy? He stood quiet, hands behind his back, eyes steady as rain-soaked stone. Each morning, the king donned in cloak of deep crimson, rode out with his court into the bustling village square. Banners of deep red fluttered behind him, catching the sun like flame. He moved through crowded streets, the people bowing low, and there, among them all, stood the minister and his young son, the boy silent, eyes steady, the father uneasy, watching the king approach. The king dismounted, boots striking old cobblestones with a hollow echo. He strode forward, cloak trailing, eyes locked on the boy, as if searching for something deeper than a simple answer. The king smiled a curious smile, reached into his pouch, and drew out 2 coins, 1 gold, 1 silver. He held them before the boy. "Choose," he said. The boy looked up, then calmly took the silver. The nobles watching laughed. Even the king chuckled. But the next week, he did it again and again. Seasons turned. Leaves browned and fell. Snow blanketed the square, then melted into spring mud. Each time the king visited, he found the boy. Each time, the boy took silver. Each time the people laughed. Later, the king turned to his minister. "Your son is foolish. Each time he chooses silver. Has he no sense at all?" The king's trusted minister, heavy with worry. When the laughter rang too sharp, he would turn and walk away without a word. That night, candlelight could not warm the weight in his heart. The minister found his son beneath an old olive tree just outside the city wall. "Why do you shame us?" he asked. His voice was rough. The boy looked up, not angry. "Come," he said. They walked the lantern-lit road back to their cottage. Inside, the boy led his father to a small room and opened a wooden box, full of silver coins, neatly stacked and gleaming. The minister blinked. "Then why silver?" The boy smiled just faintly. "Because, father, I choose the question, not the coin. The day I take gold, the king's game will end. Its laughter will stop, and so will the silver. But as long as I choose the lesser coin, the king returns, and each day he gives me 1 more, and it helps fill this box." The minister knelt slowly beside him, and for the first time, truly saw his son. He felt a quiet pride bloom in his chest. His son was not foolish. He was wise in ways that no jeering courtier could ever see. The next day, the boy was summoned to the great hall. At the far end, the king entered. Once more, he laid down 2 coins, gold and silver. "Choose," the king said. The boy's eyes searched the coins, then he reached, steady, and took silver. As always, laughter rippled through velvet collars and jeweled throats, but the king did not laugh. His gaze lingered, deep in thought, on the boy's small hand closing around silver. Beside him, the minister stood, no longer shamed, no longer afraid, for he had seen the treasure his son was truly gathering. Weeks later, the king, with his nobles and the minister at his side, walked through the village streets. They laughed and greeted merchants, until suddenly the king slowed. There, ahead, the boy knelt beside a hungry family, slipping silver coins into their empty basket. The king watched, saying nothing. The minister caught his eye, and no words were needed. Even the nobles fell silent. The boy looked up, surprised, then bowed simply and walked away. And the king finally understood. Father and son returned home, fulfilled and peaceful. Wisdom, after all, doesn't always arrive in gold. Sometimes it comes quietly, 1 silver coin at a time. The world may laugh when it doesn't understand you. Let it. Do what is right and do it well, even if no one claps. For those who build quietly, for those who wait patiently, for those who give when no one is looking, the world will catch up, and when it does, it will call you wise.